It was a cold January night in 2004. The air inside the Lowell ballroom was electric, supporters waving signs, chanting, believing they were part of a movement that could reshape America. At the center of it all stood Howard Dean, a former doctor turned politician, a man who had risen from obscurity to become a serious contender for the presidency. For months he had captured headlines as the fiery outsider, the candidate who spoke with passion and promised to shake up Washington. But that night had not gone as planned. The Iowa caucus results had delivered a painful blow. Dean's campaign, once soaring, had stumbled. Still, before his supporters, he refused to look defeated. He grabbed the microphone, his voice surging with the kind of raw energy that had defined his campaign. He shouted about the road ahead: New Hampshire, South Carolina, California, New York, his voice climbing higher with each state, building to a fever pitch. And then came the moment that would echo forever. And then we're going to Washington, to take back the White House. Yeah. It was supposed to be a cheer, a rallying cry to fire up his people. Inside the room, his followers screamed back with joy, swept up in his energy. But the microphones picked up something different. The sound came across sharp, strange, almost unhinged. When television networks replayed it, the cheer no longer sounded like inspiration. It sounded like a man losing control. And the media could not resist. Over the next 4 days, that single scream was broadcast more than 600 times on national television. News anchors laughed at it, late-night comedians mocked it, and ordinary Americans began to see Howard Dean not as a passionate leader, but as a punchline. What had been a moment of fire became a symbol of weakness. His campaign, once powerful, collapsed almost overnight. Historians now call it the first viral political moment, long before Twitter, TikTok, or YouTube. The Dean scream spread through television and early internet forums like wildfire. Parodies appeared everywhere. A single soundbite destroyed months of momentum. But the truth was more complicated. Dean later explained that the microphone exaggerated his voice. In the room, surrounded by cheering supporters, no one thought it strange. Yet when the media looped it again and again, stripped of context, it became something else entirely. It became the story. That night in Iowa changed American politics forever. It proved how fragile a candidate's image could be, how one moment of passion could be reframed into a moment of ridicule. It was a warning to every politician who came after. In the modern age, every word, every gesture, every sound could make or break a career. Howard Dean's scream was never just a shout. It was the sound of ambition colliding with the power of media. A single yell that shook a campaign, and still echoes in history.
Whose inspiring story of politician would you like to hear next? Tell us in the comments below.